In this tutorial, you'll be learning how to recode a variable. Recoding is useful for collapsing categories, reordering categories, or making any other changes to the coding scheme for a variable. For the example today, we'll be using a measure of abortion opinions in the NES dataset. The first step in recoding is to take a look at your existing variable and see what the coding scheme is for it. Now, if we look at the abortion sum variable here, abortion summary, we can take a look at the values. We can see how it's coded. 0 is NA, 1 is by law, abortion should never be permitted. Code number 2 is the law should permit abortions only in the case of rape, incest, or when the mother's life is in danger. The description is not complete here in this. 3, the law should permit abortions whenever there's a clear reason. And then 4th, by law, a woman should always be able to have an abortion. There's a category other, where someone volunteered a different answer, and that's coded as a 7. And then there's an 8 code for people who say don't know, and a 9 code for those who refused to answer the question. So once we know our coding scheme, what we want to do is run a frequency analysis to see how the variable looks and how it's distributed. So I've already included the variable here in the variable box for frequencies. We can hit OK and produce the frequency. Okay, so you can see here's the codes that we have. 7 is this code for other, and we have our missing codes down here. This NES data file is nice because it gives you the number codes that go along with this here, so it makes it easy to see how it should map to the new one. And then you can see how many cases are in each, and we'll come back and refer to these numbers later on to make sure we do our recode right. Now, the key to doing a good recode is having a mapping of how each one of these codes will map into the new codes in the new variable. Let's imagine we want to create a new code that has a category for pro-life and a category for pro-choice. And we want to take those first 2 answers and call them pro-life, and we want to take the second 2 answers and call those pro-choice. So what we do is we create a mapping. Those responses that were coded 1 in the prior variable in the new variable are going to be coded 1. Those that were coded 2 in the prior variable are going to be coded 1 in the new variable. So both 1 and 2 in the old variable will be coded 1 pro-life. Similarly, those that were coded 3 and 4 in the old variable will be coded 2 pro-choice in the new variable. Now what we want to do is take all those other value codes, 7, 0, 8, 9, and we want to make them missing. There's no reason really to distinguish among the kinds of missing variables, so what we're going to do is make all of those what are called system missing variables. That means that in the data file they just have a blank cell and there's no value associated with it, and SPSS just treats them as missing data. Now, to make this mapping happen in SPSS, go to the Transform menu. Click on that. You'll find a choice called Recode into different variables. Be sure you don't use the recode into same variables. That will perform more or less the same thing, but it will replace the existing variable with a new one. And if you make a mistake or you want to go back and recode it a different way, you're out of luck because the old variable doesn't exist. So what you really want to choose is this recode into a different variable that will create a new variable, leave the old one there the way it was, so you can always go back to it. So if you click on that and we sort this alphabetically by variable name, we go back up to our variable here that we want to choose. You click that into the box. Now you'll see that it has the name of the variable, an arrow, and then a question mark. The question mark is for what the output variable is going to be. So we want to go over here and give it a new name, and let's just call it abortion. And you can even enter a label here, the kind of label that will end up in this, and we can call it abortion opinion. Now, it won't enter in until you click change, and in fact until you click change it won't even let you run the entire recoding command. So if you get to the end and you have nothing to press here, it's probably because you haven't made the official change of what the new variable is going to be called. So once you have that, click change, it'll show up here and you'll be all set. Now the other thing you have to do before it'll let you finish the command is do the mapping for how the old variables will code into new ones, and that's accomplished through this box, the old and new variables, old and new values tab, sorry. Click on that. Now what you see is one side over here, this first side tells you what the old value is. The new one, you get to tell it what the new value is going to be. So you take that mapping that you just did and we implement it here. So old codes of 1 are now going to be new codes of 1. and then you click Add, and it goes into this recoding box. Our old 2 values are going to be 1s as well. Our old 3 values are going to be coded as 2s. Our old 4 values are going to be coded as 2s. And then what we want to do is deal with all those other system missing variables. Now, or missing cases, missing values. We can take each one as 0 and call it missing, and 7 and call it 0, call it missing. But the easiest way when you have a bunch of codes that you just want to call system missing is to go down and click this button, All Other Values, and then for new value, click System Missing and hit Add. Right? And you'll see this code, else, everything else, will be then coded as system missing. So if the case is not a 1, 2, 3, or a 4, if it's anything else, it's going to be coded as system missing. And we know that's going to work out okay for us because our old mapping shows us that those are the only possible codes, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of the other ones, 7, 0, 8, and 9, are all ones we want to be system missing. So that ends up being the best way to do it. Press Continue, and it will bring you back to this main recoding scheme. Now we've changed the name of our variable, we've defined our old and new values, and we're ready to do the recoding. Hit OK. If you come down here, you'll see that it has run this command here, and you have a new variable called abortion. You can see that in the data set. If you go to the data view, it puts this new variable way at the end of the data set, all the way down at the end here. Abortion. This is our new case. Here is a system missing case, right? This was something that was coded either 0, 7, 8, or 9. It's now missing, and we have all those folks who are pro-choice have a 2, and all those who are pro-life have a 1. Now the next step, the final step, is to make sure our new coding scheme accords with the old one, that everything was done properly. And the way to do that is to run another frequency analysis with the new variable. So let's click that in there and run our frequency table. Now what we want to do is go down and look at our new coding scheme. Does everything make sense? We've got people coded 1, which is our pro-life choice, our pro-life category. We have people coded 2, which is the pro-choice category, and then we have a bunch of system missing variables. Okay, now to confirm that this is correct, you need to go back and look at the old coding scheme. So what we want to know is, since we combined 1 and 2, we had 215 cases and 525 cases. If we add those two together, we should have 740 cases in our new pro-life category. Is that what we've got? 740, that's correct. Now we go back up here. We take our 3s and our 4s, which we wanted to combine to be pro-choice. 265 plus 753 equals 1,018. Did we do that correct? Let's go down and see. Yep, we've got 1,018 who were coded to pro-choice. Then we might as well go check in the system missing. We have 28 plus 3 plus 11 plus 7, and that equals 49. Do we have 49 missing cases? Yep, that all adds up. And now we have a new variable that reflects our new coding scheme, and that's how you do recoding.